My only problem with her, like, I don't have an issue with like what her goals are out of this process or like what she wants to get out of it. I just didn't necessarily like how she was handling the conversation with Aven. I felt like
Mm.
she rightfully so was very emotional coming into the conversation because like you said Rachel, she felt like she was lied to, and that's a really like heavy emotion to feel like. um and I feel like she obviously didn't have enough time to process like what that meant, what that could have meant for her relationship with Aven. She just jumped right into the conversation. And I felt like as a result, she wasn't listening to him. Like I felt like he was trying to explain himself and say, like, hey, like this is what I meant by that. Like this is where my feelings actually are with you. This is how committed I am to you. And she was just so focused on like, I feel like you've lied to me. I feel like you've blindsided me. And like she's I can totally 100% understand why she felt that way, but also she was not ready to have that conversation because she was not listening to him at all, and that was very frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there was a certain point where she decided she was done, and I think particularly as soon as he said the phrase "got caught up," you
Yeah,
could
she really
see it
picked that
all.
apart.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could see it like she's done. And I think she had kind of made up her mind about what she thought went down. I think she just wanted him to admit it.
Mhm.
So she wasn't going into that conversation with the intention to solve this issue
Mhm.
or to come to an understanding. It was more of an intention for him to catch him and to get
Mhm.
him to admit he lied and apologize. And when he was apologizing, but the fact that he was kind of going against what her version of things, she wasn't being productive in the conversation. So yeah, I will say that. I don't think she did her part in trying to come to an understanding with Aven.
Yeah. And she might not
I
have
really
wanted
like it.
to, but she should could have also said that.
Yes. Yeah, no, I like I said, I think she's already in love with Tino. So I think she was much more ready to let this go. And I think almost part of her was like not really wanting to see that he might not have meant it because it would have been it's so easy for her if he did lie. Because that's
Mhm.
like, okay, we can shut it off. So yeah.
I felt bad for Aben in that conversation because I felt like I could tell he was getting frustrated trying to communicate and she wasn't understanding. And then she was like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And he was like, I'm not yelling." Like I felt like he kept having to backtrack. He didn't want to be like labeled or seen as the villain because Clayton has definitely been villainized like this entire season. And I wonder if the men in this season, a lot of their actions and behaviors were thinking about like, I don't want to do something that's going to make me the villain of next season. I mean, we obviously had a villain in this season, a mutually agreed upon one, um, but I do appreciate that. Like at the back in the live ceremony, and it seemed like Rachel was in a much clearer headspace, and I felt like she, was much more understanding and ready to understand and listen, and was apologetic. So I think I think you're right, Rachel, about your observations, and I appreciated Rachel, apologizing and understanding that.
Yeah. I think she's more clear headed now because her and Tino have broken up.
Spoiler
Oh.
alert. This is a spoiler-free channel, ma'am.
It's not a spoiler, it's a prediction. It's a knowledgeable prediction.
That's what they want you to think, Rachel.
An
I mean,
educated
maybe the
guess.
twist is they end up together.
Yeah, did okay, so she did because I really zoned out during the live show because that was another like mature conversation that I was like, this is boring. So she did apologize to Aven.
Well, so I've zoned out a little bit too. So actually, I'm not entirely sure she apologized, but she was very understanding and she was very much like, you were just doing what was best for you. I was just doing what was best for me. Like, it's good to see you. Like, very much like peaceful and
Yeah.
understanding. So,
I feel
I think
like she could have taken more accountability. Like I
yeah.
would have really appreciated it if she went back and named like I was not ready to hear what you had to say. And we could not come to an understanding. And part of that is because I was not listening to you. I would have loved for her to have named that.
Yeah, I think she apologized for implying certain things and for the way she came off, but she did not apologize for not listening to him. And like, I think that was what she really needed to apologize for, because she didn't give him a chance to make his case. And she just kind of kept pushing this narrative onto him, and picking apart his words to try to fit him and find an issue.
If you want more of where that came from, be sure to check out our full episode recap. It'll be linked in the description as well as pop up on this screen.